I know something's about to go down.
Hey, Alf, you game. Episode 10.
Episode 10 of I Could Be Your Grandma.
Double digits, y'all.
They said we wouldn't get here.
Well-
They said we'd never do it.
They beat us down. They criticised us. All 8 people that have been listening. How dare you? We're
Laughed.
here.
They laughed at us, they said, when we said we'd do 10 episodes.
So it's been 10 weeks. Is that right?
No, we did 3, didn't we? So
what-
it's been 7 weeks.
Okay. God. Wow.
Which is mad, isn't it?
Time really flies.
Flown by. Flown by.
Isn't that the most boring thing that people say?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh,
Gosh, doesn't time fly?
can you believe we're... God, I'm on the end of January already.
Yeah. Soon it'll be March.
Bloody hell. 2023 already, isn't
And
it?
when people go in March, they're like, God, it felt it was only yesterday since it was Christmas.
Yeah, God.
And then, oh,
And
yeah,
now we're doing it.
kill me now.
God, we can't start episode 10 with this boring small talk.
Yeah, but we're taking the piss out of boring small talk.
We are.
I shouldn't have had to say that.
I know, I'm sorry, but I like our listeners to have every joke we make explained to them.
Yeah, that's good comedy.
Exactly, that's how you do it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's how
if
it
you
works.
if you explain, you do the joke and you explain it, and it makes it funnier.
Yeah, you got it.
Good.
Mm.
That's why I always do well,
In life. Yeah.
especially with women. Throwing back to the first episode of Mansplaining, they seem to really, really receive it well with
Respond
me.
to
Very
it.
receptive. Yeah.
They're like, wow, I never knew that thing about you.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, I never knew that piece of information. Gosh, golly, wow, what
Yeah.
a rush to
And
be around you.
they thank me.
Yeah.
And not even like patronizing. They're always like, "Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much." I'm like, "You're absolutely welcome,
As
guys."
they should. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're a god, and we live to worship men that explain things to us.
Good.
That's what
I'll
we're
carry
here
on
for.
then. I won't stop.
No, please do. Yeah.
So first of all, I Could Be Your Grandma on social media is I Could Be Your Grandma. I Could Be Your _grandma on Instagram. I Could Be Your Grandma on Facebook. Please rate and review on Spotify and iTunes. Please subscribe on YouTube. We're on TikTok now, Bridge.
I know.
We're one of the kids.
You messaged me the other day about that, and I was like, you were like, I know, I really don't want to, but I think we should.
Do you know what my rule is on TikTok?
You have a TikTok rule.
I have a
now.
TikTok rule, right?
Mhm.
Because I want people to find us and get suckered in via TikTok,
Okay.
but I don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
So my rule is, as soon as I open it, I hit profile, so it doesn't show me any videos. So I haven't watched one video yet on TikTok.
Wow, you're missing out.
I just upload. No, I'm not.
My algorithm's really kicking in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've been watching a load of like, when you first go on, it'll send you just like the most relevant that day,
Popular videos.
stuff, which is mostly just people, like attractive people dancing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very good dancers, is what I've learned from TikTok.
Yeah, but are we all just not going to get bored of that soon?
Yeah, well, we all already are, but
I know, but like, why is it still a thing?
but you make them. People are more excited about making them than other people watching them. I
Yeah,
think.
that's definitely
So that just
true.
keeps
I
happening.
mean, that goes for this podcast.
Right, exactly.
We're
It trans-
more excited about making it.
than people are about listening to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right with that though.
Me too.
Yeah.
And actually, guys, no offense. Actually, credit due where credit's due to giving the credit to you. We've had some really lovely feedback and
Yeah.
listeners, and like people are actually listening, and it's really nice. We have lovely comments and subscribers and everything, so it's really nice. So
Yeah. God bless.
thanks, guys. In fact, we should probably, share the exciting news, celebratory news for episode 10.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go on. You do the honors.
Which is I Could Be Your Grandma has merch. We have merch. We have a merch store,
Yeah.
and you can buy merch. We were thinking, of all the ways that you can support the pod, because it's not completely free for us to do this.
No.
It's not, don't get us wrong, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
But
Speak
know.
for yourself.
yeah, I know. Fucking end of January, Jesus Christ, it's been tough. But it's like, it gives you another way to support the pod.
Yeah.
You know, the merch isn't expensive. You can get t-shirts, you can get beautiful embroidered beanie hats, you can get a hoodie.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff on there.
It's
you
been a
can
very,
get.
very chilly couple of days, and
Exactly.
people might want a little beanie. Spice up your
Exactly.
beanie rack.
And we're going to be uploading with new designs.
Yeah.
And there's going to be loads of stuff. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you fancy just showing your support, you can also get the I Could Be Your Grandma mug, which we haven't even bloody got ourselves on.
I know,
there.
it's because we've got a mean little mezcal and orange
a
going
hard
on.
drink for episode
Yeah,
10.
we're gonna have like bikinis. We'll have wrist warmers.
Mice with weight scales
yeah,
on them.
yeah. We should do random shit like that. Maybe breast implants.
Yeah. Maybe we should do like a poll actually of what our first like funny design shirt should be.
Okay.
Because we have the I Could Be Your Grandma ones, which is like your
The
classics.
logo.
Your classics I Could Be Your Grandma merch. But maybe I was thinking we should have maybe a scratch to completion one with a C as a finger.
Very good.
Or we should have a cobbler from my gobbler.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should have a think and then put a little poll competition out there.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, maybe we could have, we came up with a couple of band names. Maybe we could have like them, but like a band of me and you, like grandmas in a band.
yeah. Oh,
And then like
yeah.
call.
So many ideas,
Gosh,
guys.
creative juices are flowing.
So if you fancy buying some merch, just click the link in the YouTube video or click the link in the episode description on whatever you're listening to. And
It'll make a great present for someone who will have no idea what it is.
Absolutely.
Like what a great thing to get somebody who
Yeah.
won't understand it.
Definitely.
That's what I like to get people presents.
But the thing is that they look good too.
They look good.
And they're
you
all
do look good. Yeah,
organic.
they're really nice.
They're all organic.
Yeah,
They're all really nice,
Really?
well-made, high-quality gams.
nice. Organic, free range and everything.
Free range, tastes delicious.
Yeah. Then
Um,
cotton buds get at least 30 minutes of fresh air a day. I've heard.
Absolutely. They get a good walk before they're made into a beautiful little jumper for us. So yeah, episode 10, merch store.
Love it.
And we've also got,
Yeah.
which is even crazier.
Oh yeah, this is crazy, and I'm letting you just crack on with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not really like.
I won't go on for long.
No. I mean, please talk about it at length because I'm very intrigued by it all. But I don't understand it.
Well, basically, Bridget,
Non comprende.
I was thinking of ways, like we said, of how people can support the podcast. So we have got a Patreon, guys, that if you haven't signed up to, feel free to, which is like £2 a month, and you get every episode 24 hours advance. And then there's tiers. So if you want to give like £6 a month, you can become a co-executive producer of the show, which is a nice thing, right? But I was very aware that people don't really get anything for their support.
Right.
They get early access, which, for some people, great. But a lot of people are like, I want my gams.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, I've got to have this podcast on a Sunday,
Yeah,
otherwise
exactly.
I'll die.
Exactly. Enough of that, but exactly.
Sorry.
And then, so we thought merch, great, because, we get a little bit of profit off the sales, and they get something physical. But then I was also like, this podcast is about generations, and it's about the future and the past, and it's about being at the forefront of what the world has to offer and future-proofing ourselves and thinking about the long term.
Yeah.
So I thought, what I think the word that was added to the Oxford English Dictionary in 2021 was NFT. So I thought, why don't we NFT the shit out of the podcast? So if people want to get involved in NFTs, they can pick their favorite pod and do that.
Can you explain for the listeners, including myself,
Yeah.
what the hell an NFT is?
So an NFT is a non-fungible token. That's all I'm going to say about that. But essentially, it's a digital piece of art that then you own, and you are the owner of it. So why don't we give our listeners the option to own pieces of the podcast? So every episode is going to be minted into an NFT. It's going to be the only copy of that audio that you can then buy and own your favorite episode of I Could Be Your Grandma. Now, guys, this sounds exciting.
It does.
And it is exciting.
It is.
But the beauty of the NFT for you and for me is that it gives us some income.
Yeah.
You know, and the episodes have ranged and varies of prices. Episodes are a bit pricier than like some of the images and stuff we got on there. You can also get a image of either myself or Bridget from every episode, which will be the only version of that image of me and Bridget from that episode. So you can collect them, or you can pick your favorite
Like
episode.
Pokemon cards.
Exactly.
Whoa.
And they're only like £5 or something. But the beauty of the NFT is also that you're kind of betting on us. So if you think we're going to be successful,
Oh, guys.
right, you buy an NFT of me in this beautiful green t-shirt,
Yeah.
and in 5 years' time, if we're really successful, you buy it for £5. In 5 years' time, it could be worth 50 or 500 or 5,000,
Wow.
depending on how big you think we're going to get. So it's kind of like
Buy
you
cheap, guys, then, yeah.
yeah, buy cheap, exactly. Get in cheap now.
Yeah.
And probably sell cheap.
So, which other podcasts are doing this kind of
None
stuff?
of them. None of them. We are the first podcast, from what I can tell, that are
Hey, you've heard it
NFT.
here first. We are the first podcast in the UK to create. Well,
Well,
Alfie.
we're the
so
first podcast to sell episodes of their show as NFTs.
What if people, buy them and then use them against us?
Well, we still own copyright because we are the artists.
Interesting.
So they own the episode, but they can't make money off of it, and they can't use it to slander.
So
the
they own it
dummies.
as like a cool thing to own
Mhm.
when we all inevitably live in the metaverse.
Exactly.
And then they can sell it if it makes profit, if it's worth more, sorry.
Mhm.
Or you keep it as a little cool
Or
thing.
you keep it, exactly. You keep it, you collect it, you do whatever you want with it.
Whoa.
But it's just a cool way of digitally saying, I own a little bit of this pod. I want to support these guys. Give them a £5, give them a £10,
Yeah.
pay £50 if I wanted a full episode or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you've supported us and you get this cool thing. And who knows, in 5 years' time, it could be worth so much more.
That is so cool, Alf. Bravo.
Thank
you're
you.
You're an innovator. Do you
Well,
know that?
I tell you this every night in bed.
You're an innovator. I'm an innovator. Believe me when I say I'm a visionary.
I'm going to innovate you so good tonight.
Oh, that was horrible.
So
dear.
to celebrate the launch of the merch store
Yeah.
and the launch of the NFT store, we're doing a competition in which the winner wins this episode. I Could Be Your Grandma, episode 10, is an NFT.
There we go.
And all you got to do is you got to like the post on Instagram, which we'll have done, and you have to comment with your funniest acronym for NFT.
Love it.
So that's it, guys. Like the post, share with your friends, comment what your NFT acronym is, and you could win episode 10.
That's so clever. You're very clever.
Oh, I'm not. I didn't think of it.
What did you not?
Well, I thought of the idea for the pod, but I didn't think of it.
Of NFTs. How long have NFTs been a thing now?
I think they've been quite a while, but they've only become popular in the past year.
Right. Who created it? Who was the first person?
I don't know who the first person. Yeah, I don't know who's. Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Mr. Francis Toole.
Oh, that could be him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they're really cool. But you know, when you mentioned NFTs the other day, and then suddenly all I can read about now is NFTs.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of like monkey images.
Yeah, they're the popular ones.
Right. Yeah.
And to be honest, like I don't know a massive amount about them.
Okay.
The only ones I have are cheap ones because I'm not minted.
Do you own some?
I have one, yeah.
What is it?
It's a friend's piece of artwork, piece of my friend's
That they
artwork.
digitalized?
Yeah.
Or was
'Cause it's-
already digital?
No, it was already digital, and they minted into an NFT.
Interesting.
Because it's also a really good way to support your friends who are
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what we're doing. Is just like
I would call that
yeah,
a
it's like
fartist, really.
a
but-
fartist.
Yeah.
An NF, a nasty fart taker.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, it's just like a cool way that, like, people that are genuinely brilliant at art might want to mint 50. It's essentially like buying a print from an artist, except it's just a digital one.
But that is interesting because, like, the past, we would all buy, impressive art and hang it up in our places so that people can see it.
Yeah.
But where we're moving, we're all going to exist online, aren't we? So is it so that you can have a virtual home and people can, when they come
Like,
round for
display
tea?
them.
We were
Yeah.
so me and Alfie have been talking a little bit about the metaverse and how and how we think that the future is that we're all just going to like live in these little black boxes
I don't like it.
and then have screens in front of us and VR goggles and then live as this anime. What do you call it?
Yeah.
You know, like your that thing,
Yeah, your avatar.
and you'll live in that world, but everything around you will be the same. Do you think I'll still like go to work, or can you do anything? Do you
Well,
think-
this is it, isn't it? It's like, I'm so. The thing is, right? I'm so NFT bloody positive,
You're right.
and I also think crypto's amazing. But the one thing that I'm really not excited about is the metaverse, and I really hope it doesn't happen.
Well, there'll be two things, won't there? There'll be people who do it inevitably.
Yeah.
There are already people that exist
Definitely.
online,
Yes.
and then have to come out for like Sunday roast with their family, and they're sat at the table like shaking. like,
God, yeah.
Who are these people?
Pale, just
'Cause
can't look at anyone in the eye.
Yeah, because they spend the whole week on Twitch.
Mm.
That's it. But then, so you're going to have them people that exist in the metaverse, and then you're going to have people who exist in the real world.
Yeah.
But it might get to a point where you can't tell what the difference is. You know, it's so.
Yeah, but you could if you're in the real world.
Yeah, but it will be like exactly how I'm sat down with you now. You could have it so that like even, we have a podcast and I'm sat in one room, you're sat in another, but we're sat in a really cool studio that's on like a beach or like, in front of a erupting volcano, and we're there, and then I even like hold your hand, and there's technology so I can like feel you,
Yeah.
and like it's so real that it's.
But what's the benefit of that over just touching my hand in real
Well, the
life?
benefit.
And don't get personal.
Why would I want that? Ew. The benefit of being online.
Like what? Oh, because I guess you could touch someone's hand that's in like Australia or whatever,
Yeah.
but you're not touching it.
I'm not saying that like that's the reason that
and
you do
also
it.
like to go back to your a great question of like, do you think I'll work in the metaverse or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, how fucking shit would it be if we
Right.
create a virtual reality and you still have to work? Like, you've built that platform that like jobs are a thing, but of course jobs are always going to be a thing.
But hang on, Alf, because hang on a second, because you'll still have if say the whole population somehow in the next few hundred years moves online
Yeah,
and everyone exists online, there's still going to be powerful people.
people. Yeah,
People.
I'm just not happy
There's
about
still
this.
going to be people who earn more earn more coins or whatever.
They'll be the people they'll be
So
offline.
They'll
They'll have little slaves to do it for them.
right, yeah, no, but by that point, maybe the Earth and the whole of our existence
Just destroyed.
is destroyed, and we all have to live in these little pods on this like vast desert because everything's burnt, everything's rotten, that's it. There's no more life anymore, so we can all exist online. But then we were talking about jobs may still be a thing because we made them a thing in the real world. And that in
Yeah.
itself is a crazy idea to me. Like at one point in history, we all decided that there would be a currency, that like between human beings, there would be, you buy this off me, I make this, you buy it.
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
means
yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
And that then meant that we have what we have today. Like we have
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't
employment in like crazy. Everyone exists
Yeah.
to make money in one form or another.
it?
That might gender shift online.
It could do,
So
and
you
it
still
probably
work.
will.
So then you get people who can't quite afford to go up the rankings in the digital world.
you
So they
have
work in like
poor scummy metaverse.
no,
bit.
not scummy metaverse, but like people like like people like me who work in low paid coin jobs that do like.
What would it be?
I don't know. Well, you could have a shop, couldn't you? Where you can only buy your food to sustain your anime by buying food from a certain digital shop.
Oh, you got to feed yourself and an anime.
Well, imagine if it's real life. Like we have to live, don't we?
Yeah, but surely that's the benefit. Like, surely, Bridge, the benefit of building a metaverse is not to put the flaws of what it is to be a physical human in there. So you wouldn't have to feed your fake person.
Well, what I'm saying is, what if the people who create the metaverse, like, put that in, you know?
As a money thing.
Yeah,
like,
money thing. Like you have to eat. You know,
well,
like how
then, yeah.
you know, like in Farmville or whatever, you have to have you die in Farmville if you don't maintain your crops or whatever it is. I don't
The
get
farmer doesn't die. The crops die. The
Yeah, but then-
farmer isn't there.
it. Yeah, but the
like-
crops. Yeah, but my point's the same. Is that the crops die and then you lose all your money and then you're homeless and starving and I don't know. You die. I've never played Farmville.
Homeless in the metaverse. Farmville's got dark since I last played it.
Yeah, you could be homeless in the metaverse, couldn't you? Because you could be, you could find yourself with no physical money in the real world, only have stuff online, and then lose everything there. And then you just live in a pod, and then you're like, okay, well, my only life that really exists, well, you know, water isn't a thing anymore outside, so I have to just exist in here. I don't know, that won't work though, would it? Because to live in a physical body and play in the metaverse, you do need to like physically be alive.
Yeah, of course you do.
Right. Well,
Well, this is the other thing, right? This is if you take it a next level deeper.
Holy.
We've not even explained what the fucking metaverse is to listeners.
I think they've got the grips of it right now, right?
Right,
It's
I
like
hope so,
VR. It's
yeah.
like it's like Sims. Just imagine Sims, but everyday life.
Right, let me stop you. Let
Okay.
me shut you up a second. All right.
I've just realised I've been talking for about
Yeah.
5 years.
Right. So, you know, you said about like, there has to have a physical person behind the metaverse.
Right.
Well, to like even accelerate it even more, because we're going to accelerate before we come back.
Okay.
To accelerate it even more, the argument is like with the metaverse that you're like essentially, you know, immortalizing yourself. And you're immortalizing yourself without having the consciousness, the power of consciousness in your avatar. If
Right.
you're not controlling it
Right.
or doing whatever
I'm
is
with
that
you.
character on the metaverse. However, that avatar will still physically exist on the data storage hard drive
Yeah.
network that is built, right? And the argument is that if the human race ceases to exist, but these servers and networks still exist, right? Then the metaverse is technically
Reality.
a new reality on Earth. Like if the physical world and the physical beings, you know, we all kill each other in a nuclear war, and some of these underground servers have survived, and there's like, you know, fucking Sandbox, which is one of the metaverses, is still running, then like all the characters on there will be doing their little AI automating, interacting shit, and that'll be like the only form of life on the planet of like consciousness, like human existence.
Wow.
It's pretty wild, isn't it?
Do you think they'll be clever enough to move from the internet into like making like physical robots as well? Like
Well,
that's-
this is the thing, right? So like if with like an NFT, right, you can buy a little digital frame
right.
for an NFT. Because some people like still like the old ways of doing stuff, like having a picture on the wall. It's like, oh, I want a little frame of my NFT so I can see it in
It's
my
a
house.
physical frame.
Yeah, physical frame that you display the digital NFT on.
Oh,
So, like-
but you know, like that thing that cheap thing you used to get from little photograph shops.
Exactly,
You
it's
used to like
literally like
hook
that.
up your
Yeah.
your phone
Yeah.
and it plays all your photos from your holiday.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Sounds cool.
Yeah, but like sure, like there will be at some point a device that you can just have your character, your metaverse character on. So then what's to say that that isn't, you know, a real person now, you know?
Yeah, who are we to deny that? And maybe they would look back on like human beings, you know, like the fleshy ones, and be like, treat us like folklore,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And they like folk tales of when we
God.
existed like that. Oh, got heavy quite quick.
Yeah.
Do you think, just talking about NFTs again, do you think people could like monetize on like, say, a recipe for like food, and then that food become copyrighted? Like that specific combination of food be like illegal for people to make?
Well, the thing is, right, is that
No, that's ridiculous, Bridget.
it is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work, would it? Because anybody could go to a shop and buy, you know, a
Yeah.
specific ingredient.
And also, like, an NFT doesn't mean that you're the only person that can see, listen, watch, or experience that piece of art. It just means that you're the digital owner of
Right.
that thing. So, like, you know,
Okay.
if you mint a meme or you mint a picture of me,
What does
it's-
mint mean?
it just means you make it into an NFT, you add it to the blockchain that it lives on.
Okay.
If you do that, then it doesn't mean that people can't just like copy and paste the same image and have it on the computer, but they're not the digital owners. They don't have ownership of the piece of art. So people can still experience I Can Be Your Grandma every single episode. Just because someone buys it doesn't mean that they have everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think it's? Do you think that we're like the last generation to kind of? Well, we are, aren't we? The last generation
Have
to grow
sex.
up with a that.
Probably.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think if we can figure
Yeah.
out... Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
On
I
behalf of all the younger generations, yeah.
Yeah. You just hear a collective... yeah, no, I think we're definitely the last generation to fuck.
So that means that babies won't be born.
No, I think if we can figure out a way to artificially inseminate, and whether that's having women still give birth physically, but just through artificial insemination, or if we can build
Babies.
some sort of womb that just grows a baby from your DNA,
Oh my
then
God.
without a doubt, I guarantee people would stop having sex in the younger generation.
Whoa.
And I don't mean like 18-year-olds, because I'm sure they're still in it. I mean like 20, 30 years down the line.
I think I disagree.
Do you think?
I think so. I think there's an innate humanity in us, surely.
Yeah, but it's getting bashed out by...
Do you think it'll
Social media and
it'll
tech
still
and-
be a thing? It'll just be really rare.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
a small pocket of society will be doing it.
Of course, like
And
everything
they'll
I say
look
is
at-
a hyperbole. I don't think no one will ever have sex, but I think like it'll be a massive...
And there'll be that one person that you're like, she has sex.
Yeah.
And they're all like, what?
Ah.
But what do you mean? Like, because
What do you mean I'm fucking my anime avatar on Metaverse every night? That's what will happen. It's like, I'd rather wank to my fake avatar having sex with another fake avatar than have sex with an actual person.
Well, it goes back to, yeah. It kind of goes back to that first vid that we had in the first episode, of that guy who had to Google whether she came or not.
Exactly.
And it's almost like that's technology that's influenced that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, imagine the extreme version of that where you're just like, oh, I don't even need to bother with the woman. I can have my own
Yeah.
reality, make
Yeah.
this person do whatever I want, and I don't care.
And every time at the end, the little avatar will look at you and go, "You made me come so hard. Put Google away. You don't need that, baby. I'm telling you.
5 points for you.
You're the best sex I've ever had. I love you. Buy Domino's Pizza now."
You're followed by
And
an
a
ad.
little buy now button will pop up in front of his face. And I'll go, definitely.
Yeah, sorted. Oh, wow.
Sex and pizza with a fucking page 3 model. My life's great. And then it zooms out and it's this hairy, obese, 48-year-old man.
Apologies to any 48-year-olds. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dark tunnel we're going down, isn't it, really?
Or even more twisted, it zooms out and it's like a 14-year-old lad.
Well, this is what we spoke about the other day. This whole argument about like you'd rather have would we as a society rather have pedophiles like
Jesus.
so wait. So would we rather them, interact, I'm going to use the word interact and nothing else, with like avatars? Or will there be police in the metaverse about like behavior that is also,
Good question.
you know what I mean? Like, will you have? That's why you have to have
Well,
jobs.
there's
You have to have somebody who goes like, "No, paedophile, no, go away."
There's got to be law and order, aren't there, in everything?
No crops for you.
Yeah. Grapes will not be growing this week. Face, they can be imagining children.
I love that the paedophile has like a vineyard. He's got
Of course
great.
they would. Of course they bloody would. Nature's fruit.
He needs to have something to learn all the
Exactly.
kids.
Come and taste my fake wine, little boys and girls. Yeah. Well, that's it. Regulations everywhere,
But
isn't
then
it?
they're not hurting actual children.
I'm sorry, Bridge. I'm gonna have to disagree with everything you say. Here.
I must say, I don't agree with anything I'm saying. I'm kind of just trying to be.
I can't apologise
interesting.
enough for my wife on this episode, guys. Oh dear.
Why?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's a wild question.
But like it might happen. Like there might be.
But so let me try and phrase this how I hope you're saying.
Okay, I might have said it wrong.
Is you're saying, and I also think the listeners probably need clarification just so that they don't
Hate me
never
forever.
listen to us ever again. So what you're saying, right, is why don't we let paedophiles
No.
or what are they called now? SERPs.
They're called, what is it called? Attracted to
Minors.
Minors.
That's it. Minor attractive people.
minor attracted people.
But right, so what you're saying, right, is like if we have this like sophisticated metaverse thing,
Right.
right, where we can build animes, why not have like a pedophile therapy rehabilitation place in which they can interact with fake, non-manned, there's not a person behind them, AI thing.
Jeez, what, like a club?
But what are you saying?
I wasn't saying let's do this. My point was, like, won't it mean that physically more people won't be abused if more people go
If
online?
fake people do it.
But yeah.
Right.
But I'm not saying that like I think it's a good thing if loads of like pedophiles go online and then start like molesting anime versions of children.
Right.
What I'm saying is is that they won't be physically harmed in any way, right? It's like that whole
But it depends.
you know, a couple of years ago when I showed you that video of all those sex robots that were made, and you were like, isn't this a cool thing though, that you give these to the rapists so that you don't go out and rape women?
You're putting words right in my mouth there.
I know I am.
I don't remember saying that at all.
What do you remember the conversation we had about it?
Yeah, but I definitely didn't go, isn't this great? All these rapists can just fuck dolls.
No, your point was exactly what I'm
think
making.
that's what they were. I think the article that we were talking about had mentioned that this could be a possibility of what they're used for.
And I said, I don't think it deters men from harming and violence against women.
No, of course not.
I think all it does is creates more of a reason for them to do it.
Yeah, it kind of okays it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then people are like,
so what's your point about the metaverse then?
well,
So like, are you agreeing with it or
Oh,
not?
I've just talked myself into a bit of a hole there, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I don't like it.
No, good. One was a weird thing.
God,
What?
I'm just thinking like, we can't go anywhere without just there being bad people.
Yeah, you'll always get bad
Like,
people
so even when
everywhere.
people are designing the metaverse,
Mhm.
it's got to include the worst of us too. So how do you then?
This is it, isn't it? It's like how
There's going to be there's
corruption
So you know we
everywhere,
talked
isn't
about
there?
the black internet, or what was it, the dark web.
Mhm.
So you know, so the version of that would be, you know, the dark meta web, and then people would just do all the
Yeah.
nasty stuff.
Yeah.
God, aren't people the worst? Aren't human
People
beings the
are.
worst? Isn't it the worst thing that we've come up with this?
Yeah. Going back to the whole like sex thing.
Of course, yeah.
So like we saw a video, didn't we, of like a guy who was wearing a VR suit.
I'm going to show you it because I've got it here.
And
I sent it to you on our WhatsApp thing, on our Instagram. Sorry.
Hello, my name is Citizen Meta One. Today we're going to be doing some full performance capture, recording the face and the body directly into Rococo Studio. After that, we're going to bring this into Unreal Engine and apply it to our MetaHuman.
So, for people who are listening, it says this is what people would look like in the metaverse, and you've got a guy at the bottom who's got like a suit on with cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
And then above him is his avatar version of him.
And it's really realistic.
Really, it's imagine Sims, but just so realistic.
And he's got a nice bod. He's very handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome avatar guy. And I was like, what's crazy is that if we interact like that on the metaverse, right? I'm in my room here,
Yeah.
but I'm a 40-stone-year-old.
40
I'm
stone
40
year
stone.
old.
I'm a 40 stone.
He's 40 years in stone.
40-stone. I'm a 40. I'm a 40-year-old, 30-stone man,
Right.
right? And I'm there with my suit on.
You're like Wally, the kind of like
Yeah, a big guy off
human
Wall-E.
being. Yeah, okay.
And I've got my suit on, and my avatar's a ripped, beautiful, ripped guy there. Lovely face, ripped bod, moving around the metaverse, right? And I bump into you in the other room, but you're physically in the other room, right? Or physically, fuck it, not even in the other room. Physically, you're in America.
Right.
And I bump into you, and your avatar's this beautiful, toned goddess.
Yeah, a bit like me in person.
Bit like you
then.
now, except the real you is actually again like
40
a
stone,
40 stone,
yeah.
30-year-old, whatever. My thing was like, isn't it mental, right? That these people can like talk to each other like we are now, because it'll be over like the phone or whatever, you know, chatting or whatever the metaverse thing is.
Right.
Having a chat. We're interacting through our VR goggles. I'm seeing this beautiful woman.
It's like we're in the
You're
room.
seeing this beautiful man.
Yeah.
Isn't it mad that like my fat man's boner that I'll be getting when I'm looking at you
Right.
is in my body,
Right.
but I'm getting it over a made-up avatar, and your
Yeah.
fat woman's wide on is
Equivalent.
attracted to this beautiful sculpted man in front of you, this avatar.
Well, there's two things there. One, maybe by that point, like you said, you won't be getting sexually aroused because everybody's depressed and like,
yeah, but you would in the metaverse, wouldn't you? You'd be
I
like,
don't
should we go have
know.
metaverse sex? Should we go have avatar sex? And you're like, oh my God, I'm having sex with this gorgeous model. But
Excuse me?
really, it's, you know, it's not. It's a robot fake thing, and the woman behind it's, you know.
Okay, but don't we do that anyway with like, you know, what we watch on TV? Like, don't you get like aroused by, or like, whoa, like when we watch a film, you're like it feels like I'm in the room with that person. It doesn't really feel like you're in the room.
But they're
though,
still
is it?
a human being. Like, we
Physical
know they're a
person.
human being.
All right. Well, what about when you find like, you know, Jessica Rabbit attractive?
I don't get that.
Do you not?
I don't get it at
Are you?
all.
Have you never been the guy who finds
No.
like cartoons attractive?
I really don't get it. It
Yeah.
actually creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, it's a real thing though.
Oh, I know.
I used to work with a guy in a pub, and he was big on like anime stuff. So he would get like loads of videos ordered.
Yeah, I've
all the
never
time
never
delivered.
understood it.
Yeah.
I've never got it. I've watched my fair share.
Hey, if any listeners out there are big on anime, I'm really interested
Yeah,
into
let
what the
us
appeal
know.
is. Please get in touch.
Publicly declare yourself
Yeah,
on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's never done it for me.
Right.
Um,
Well, but you are right though. It is odd that you'll be attracted physically.
yeah, it's two people that are actually real people that if they like met in real life might not be attracted to each other physically, but then like the personalities click on the metaverse, and then they're like really attracted to these fake people. It's just the whole thing's mind blowing.
Do you not think like the humans in us would, you know, have sex with the anime and like go on dates and doing all this thing, and then they like drop it somewhere like, oh, sorry, I'll be back in a minute. My real me needs to go and pick up milk or whatever.
Yeah.
And then and then the other person's like, okay, yeah, cool. Hey, maybe we could talk off the platform, but don't tell, you know.
Oh my God. And then like the metaverse police come up and go, excuse me, you need to come with us. And then it's like locks your account and it's like, you can't go on.
You have been found interacting with the outside world.
Yeah.
You can no longer access your account for 24 hours.
Breakout alert.
Yeah,
alert. Oh
like
my
imagine,
God.
and then maybe imagine if they get a rush of feeling like they're having an affair with the real versions of themselves,
Oh.
aside from their animes.
You've got a really good film here.
I'm pretty sure it's probably already been made.
That's a great idea though, isn't it? Like the Matrix
think it
world
has been
where
made.
you're plugged in and then two people decide to break out.
Right.
And the film is these two people wanting to
Actually
live in
getting
the
on.
real world.
And they can't.
And they can't.
I think that is a film, Alf.
I think we should make it
we should
anyway.
go and see the new Matrix. Speaking about all this,
I've
like
heard
we're
this shit.
full on in the Matrix conversation.
I
We
hear
really
it's
should go and see the new one. Is it not very
It's not
good?
very, very good, apparently.
We haven't been to see a film in so long.
No, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
And we've got that membership as well. We can go see free films.
I know, we need to go.
There's a few I want to go see. But it's like coming up to Oscar season, so you got some good ones coming out, surely.
We'll do it. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do it. I've actually got a little funny video to show you.
Oh, love it. Okay, great.
Which kind of sums up. It doesn't sum up the conversation. It sums up the podcast quite well. Because I realised, like, because all of this ties to I Could Be Your Grandma, in that you're like, this is never anything our grandparents had to worry about, and
Right.
definitely don't want to talk about it.
They don't. I don't think they even get
If
it.
you went to your grandparents and said, "Do you want to talk about a fake world on the internet?" They'd be like, "No,
Yeah, I'm done.
definitely not."
I know.
And fair play to them.
The next generation are going to have a whole new level of this to talk to us about as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we're just going to be like,
Yeah.
no, this is as far as I can go.
But this video, because of what I realized, is that we're kind of like an intergenerational show in that sense.
Right.
Like,
We
you
cross
know,
both.
We have younger listeners, we have older listeners. There's our generation, there's our parents. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of, and this was just a satirical look at the generations.
Okay. That's really great, Al.
Excellent.
For people who are listening, do you want to describe what that was?
Yeah, it was a guy called Christian Quelmcroc. And
Fantastic pronunciation there. Well done.
Thank you.
Man of the world, you are.
yeah, he made this video where essentially it was him going through the same scenario, which is that he was pretending to walk into a person, and at the start of each scenario, it was like born in the 70s, and it was basically 70s guy just carries on walking, 80s guy like a little bit confrontational, 90s person was like a bit like shocked and embarrassed that it had happened to him. And then the 2000s was he falls over insanely dramatic, pulls his phone out to pull a selfie, and just whines like a little bitch.
It's
like
so
this.
true, though, isn't it? Like I probably have a little bit of sprinkling of that in me as well.
No,
you
you
know,
don't.
like I'm a bit dramatic.
Not like that.
No, not like that. But yeah, why do we need to post everything? It's so funny.
It's just like hilarious that like any little thing like that has to be publicized, and
Yeah.
like it's the most important people in the world.
Yeah. But what's so but no, I'm not. You know, to be on the side of the youth, they don't know any different. Like they're born in a world that has created that. You know,
Yeah.
they're product of it. They're not they're
Yeah, absolutely. It's not their fault, really, is it?
they're a result of it, not the product or something. Like
They're the result. Yeah.
We've given that to them. It's so funny this like how different our generations are, because it was my granddad's 90th birthday
Yeah.
over the weekend,
That's mad.
which is incredible, and he's an amazing man. And he was telling me on his birthday, and we were sat at this table watching all the kids in our family, because a lot of my family have had like young babies in the past couple of years, and they're all just toddlers, so it's chaos, you know. It's like little 2-year-olds having fun, little babies, a lot of crying, a lot of laughing, a lot of giggling, it's just parenting, right?
Yeah.
And you can just, and I had a look at him, and he's just sat at the top of the table, and he's looking out at the whole family in just like, wow,
Yeah.
like look what I've done. I've all this life in
Look
this.
at what I've done.
Like look at everything that's in this room.
Yeah.
And he was sat quite quietly, and I go over, I'm like, oh, just having a chin wag. And he was, we had a little sing song at one point, and he was telling me about how him and his walking group used to go to the lakes and to the Peak District and to loads of places, and they would go into like restaurants and chip shops and cafes, and then they'd just sit around and sing and play guitars, and then everybody would like join in, and then he told me the story about how this woman was like, "Your chips and egg are on us," and then I was just listening to this story. Like, what world
Would anyone have egg and chips?
on one plate? Like, where that doesn't
Yeah, it
happen.
doesn't happen anymore, does it? Does not happen anymore.
Authentic, gratifying, like these kind of experiences, they just don't happen, or they don't happen to us, and we don't let them happen.
Well, yeah, we're not part of enough walking groups and singing groups to find out if we get free egg and chips for our efforts.
Yeah,
and I
maybe-
like to
maybe
think
that
in
still
some
does
places it probably
exist.
does happen. I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's why you don't get wholesome stuff like that anymore, do you?
No, and like how they used to all meet up every Saturday night. Like their thing was Saturday night, the Gaelic club, let's go dancing, singing,
Yeah.
and all dance,
Yeah.
eat pie and peas, and then on the Sunday all go out for a big walk,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
Nothing.
and then all go back to work Monday, looking forward again to the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, you're buying bees on Saturday. Oh, she looked great. I mean, they were great.
That's a
Yeah.
nickname for my gran.
Buying bees.
I know.
It's just not a thing anymore. That kind of like, heartfelt, wholesome scenario.
But maybe it is. But
Maybe.
maybe it still is, and it's in the right communities. I know that the past 2 years, the world shrunk a little bit, hasn't it? Everyone's isolating themselves from people more than they would do. And it's, maybe people who would have done those things have maybe now decided not to.
Yeah.
So there's less of it, considerably less. But the hope is that everyone suddenly realizes how important it is to connect with each other. They get back out to that Gaelic club.
Absolutely.
Get your glad
Get
rags
your
on.
dancing shoes on and get your egg and chips eaten.
But then at the same time, Alf, at that time there was a lot of oppression for a lot of
Oh yeah,
communities,
and there was war,
and
there
there
was
like we are very lucky in that regard that like we don't have to go to war.
Yeah.
But we're white, so we've always kind of been lucky. But it's a better time now, isn't it?
Yeah.
In many
That's
ways,
true.
it's like the luckiest time to be born in the West, isn't it? In comparison to how you were treated.
Definitely. Oh yeah. In terms of like the ease of existence.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. What do you think you'll do when you're 90?
If I make it to 90,
Do you think
gosh.
people, and I'm not saying that your granddad does, but like, do you think people like just hate their family? Do you think they look and think, because your granddad will have looked upon that room full of wonderful people and gone, I've made all these people.
Yeah.
Because of me, these people exist, sort of thing. And I'm very proud of them. I love them dearly.
Yeah.
But do you think some people look at their grandkids and like, oh God? That's what I think about this, like the younger generation now. Like, do people look at their grandkids and go, you're a dickhead?
Oh, you're so mean to the youth. What
know.
hope? They're our hope, Alf. You
I
need to put
know.
everything you have. I mean, what are we talking about? We're in that too. But like, we need to give them some credit.
No.
We need to give them some pass on.
I do actually. I'm not a youth hater at all. But like, do you know what I mean?
I think there's probably a
Because the
massive.
two worlds are so different.
So different.
Because like us and our grandparents,
Yeah.
like there's less of a gap
Right.
in terms of,
Yeah. Technology.
existence, worldly knowledge sort of thing.
Right.
We had a much better time, crazier time,
Mm.
easier time than our grandparents, for sure.
Yeah.
But like there was less of the craziness that's gone on in the past, 15, 20 years with social media and everything that's like made people the way they are now.
I always wonder, was there like an alternative to what we're experiencing then? And I don't. I think each generation deals with what it's given. So we can never. You can't even compare it because it doesn't apply. I feel like every generation's kind of in their own universe of their own reality in that way.
Yeah.
Like my grandparents won't be able to grasp the scope of what millennials, let's say, are experiencing right now. I can't even
No, I
understand
can't.
maybe,
Yeah.
what millennials are going through right now. Maybe they're not even fazed by the pandemic, or it feels quite normalized to them. And for us, it feels really like, oh God. But if you're, 8 or 9 or
It's like the whole metaverse thing. Like the pandemic has kind of accelerated the progression of what that is. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder that if
Right.
COVID didn't happen in 2020, would this metaverse talk that we're hearing now be as prominent as it would have been without the pandemic? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because we've all kind of existed and got used to being inside and doing more things online and socializing online, that it's just kind of feels like that regular safe space now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
It's a crazy. It's
Maybe you and me should be the characters from that movie and just get out of there.
Come on, let's go.
Break
Hey,
free.
baby, let's go live. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go experience the real shitty, boiling, river flowing, oceans drying world.
It's great. What's not to lose?
Oh, do you have anything positive?
Um,
I'm COVID free.
you're COVID free.
Yeah.
And you're COVID free. I'm COVID free.
Yeah.
I have been free this whole time.
Clean as a whistle, you.
Clean as you won't find me anywhere with it.
No. And I tried.
I know
I
you
really tried to give it
tried
to you.
really sticking it on me, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you feeling better?
Feeling great.
Great.
Feeling real good.
That's a
Rough
vaccine
for
for
a
you.
few days, wasn't I?
That's brilliant.
As people will have known from listening and watching to episode 9.
Oh God, you took
Yeah, I
it.
got rough towards the end. I felt like shit as well, actually. It was really weird, right? Because I had that little girly cough that you took the piss out of at the start. And then as soon as I got that positive
Sexist,
result,
but okay, sexist to coughs, but
well,
you
that's
know,
what you called it.
ironically. Yeah, go on.
As soon as I got that positive result, like my body was just went west.
Yeah.
And like, it was like the psychological element of knowing I had it made me suddenly feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I was really rough at the end of that episode.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just slumped in your chair.
I was proper slumped.
Oh no.
But now I feel
There-
great.
There's
now.
a really funny. I took like a still of you actually, like explaining something, and it's like I don't even recognize who you are.
Yeah, it's mad.
Look so pale.
Yeah,
But you've got so much more colour in your old cheekies and in your face.
thank you.
And you've got the world before you. So enjoy it, kid.
We were, speaking of these wild, insane concepts that could happen in the future
Yeah.
due to technology advancing or whatever, we were watching a film
Yeah.
the other day, which was, is it Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? Is that the first one?
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't seen it, James Franco plays a doctor who's doing research for dementia,
Yeah. It's like a gene therapy thing.
a
isn't it?
gene therapy research thing to cure dementia,
Yeah.
which his father, John Lithgow, the great John Lithgow, is in. And he gives it to a bunch of monkeys,
Yeah.
apes, really.
Apes. Yeah.
Names in the title. And the main monkey, Caesar, responds very well to it and becomes incredibly intelligent and breaks. No, he doesn't break out. He eventually, all these apes decide to get this consciousness
Yeah.
thing, intelligence, and
Yeah.
they can talk and
They become-
mental stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was this.
Yeah. It's crazy film. It's so good.
Would you like that to happen?
Well, I was watching it going. I was watching it thinking like, yeah, they deserve it. Like
They do it well, don't
Like
they?
they do it really well. I was like, yeah, like screw the humans, take us all. I think I remember thinking if this happens, I'd be like, have me. I've ruined your home.
Monkeys, have me, take me.
Have me now.
I'm yours.
I was like,
Have me.
have me. I'd just be like, get rid of us all because we've ruined the planet. We've ruined your planet.
Yeah.
And we've treated you like shit and we've just like been pumping you full of drugs to, give us like fillers or whatever. And burn us all to the ground.
Yeah.
Do it. And I was kind of rooting for them all to cause absolute carnage.
But there was this scene which the scene didn't make us laugh. It was just the way we were talking about it afterwards, where quite close to the beginning of the film, one of the like James Franco's doing a presentation to like loads of billionaires, isn't he, of why they should fund this drug.
Yep.
Because it's going to be great for humans. And one of the monkeys, like
Apes.
sorry apes, escapes and like causes the right scene in front of all these billionaires. And the guy who owns the research center is like, shut it down. And then to this other scientist, he's like, kill all the apes.
Yeah.
Kill them.
Yeah. Which we were both like,
Yeah.
what?
kill all the apes.
Yeah, we just couldn't comprehend that you could kill something like that.
And then, like a couple scenes later, you don't see the ape slaughter, but this second scientist gives Franco a baby ape who becomes Caesar.
Yeah, yeah.
And Franco's like, I can't take this. What do you want me to do with a baby monkey? Ape. Sorry. And then the scientist says something like, I've already put 12 of these down today and I just can't do it anymore. And he hands him like a needle.
Yeah.
And we were like, he's killed 12 monkeys
in a day.
in a day. Imagine getting into bed that night or getting home to your wife or husband and going, yeah, hey, honey, you had a good day. Yeah.
Well, not gonna lie, it wasn't great. You know, well, let's put it this way: never had to kill 12 monkeys in a day.
Yeah. Or being in bed just thinking like, oh yeah, killed 12 monkeys. Killed 12 apes.
12 apes.
12 apes.
Because we were really blown away by the animation of the apes, and it made me think like it made me just realize like, what incredible things animals are.
yeah.
Animals are amazing things, and apes who are just so beautiful.
The most
and
amazing
the most
thing.
amazing thing I've ever seen. And then the idea of having to kill not one.
Kill it. That's what we was like.
Not two.
One ape. If you killed one, if I went to bed one night and said, "Oh fuck, today was a bad day. I killed an ape. I killed an ape."
An ape that's been in a cage. I killed it.
And then to have to do that 11 more times. 12 monkeys.
How did he sleep at night? How would somebody get over that? Do you reckon he was in like therapy and they're
Fuck
like,
knows.
hi, so tell me about your childhood. And he's like, well, childhood was fine. What I'm dealing with is something that happened rather recently. And they're like, oh, great relationship, maybe a loss.
You could call it that.
Yeah, I could call it that. Well, for my work, it's kind of complicated, but I'll cut it short. I killed 12 apes the other day.
Yeah, 12. It's such a big number.
It's too many.
If I met someone and they said,
I've never even touched one, Alf. I've never
no,
even
I know.
touched one.
Yeah. But like if you were having a chat with someone and they goes, oh, I killed 12 monkeys last year, I'd go, hey, 12 in a year.
That's one a month.
That's insane. I'd go, fucking hell, 12 in 1 year? That's mad. And then the next guy goes, that's nothing. I killed 12 in a month. 12 in a month?
That's more than one. That's more than
Yeah. God, that's like 4 a week, 3 a week.
That's pretty much every day.
And then this guy goes, well, I can top that. I knocked 12 of them out in a day.
One day.
Do you think the writers put that number too high? Because it's so astronomically
But
big.
it couldn't be like in the 20s because then it's too big. But it couldn't be like
killed
5.
25
It couldn't be like 5 because it's too small.
That's 5's a lot.
5's too many. Kill 5. It's too many apes that have died that day.
Yeah.
It's like, but I think when you think about those animals, you're like, yeah, they're really rare. And they're really a bit like, if someone killed like 12 elephants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God, yeah.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And then this guy was like, that's his. I was thinking about this doctor it's his job.
Do you reckon he felt good buying his food shop with that month's paycheck? The blood of 12 apes.
Get a little carbonara.
You know what? I'm going to treat myself for that bottle of Relevant.
Yeah, he's out on a date and she's like, it's okay. And it comes to get the bill and he's like, it's okay, I got this. And then
It's on Abe. I mean, it's on me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What would you do if you went out with a guy, he bought you a succulent meal,
Yeah.
and then he said, by the way, that money, you found out that money came from him killing 12 apes.
Well,
Pounce him
it's
straight away, wouldn't you?
it wouldn't be a great review on, Tinder, whatever. I'd
Yeah.
be like, be wary, guys. This guy does kill apes for a living.
But he was actually quite a nice guy, wasn't he?
How could you have taste for any food after like doing
anything.
something like
Not
that?
how could you have a taste for life?
After doing something that monstrous.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know how people can actually work in labs either.
No, that film, and I know it's really like hyper fictionalized, like
Sure.
made me think like, oh, it would be shit working in a
Yeah.
lab, in a testing lab for animals. Oh my god, how depressing! I
I
couldn't
know,
think of.
I know.
It'd be in my top 5 most depressing locations.
What's your other ones?
I'm just thinking like something human,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like a child sex dungeon.
Yeah. A little.
Little. Well, that's Lidl off the sponsorship list, isn't it?
I actually really like Lidl
Me
as well.
too,
I don't know why we're giving them
Lidl.
shit.
A Lidl.
Oh,
What is
God.
a shit supermarket?
Um,
What's one you don't want to go
I
into?
really, really don't like Asda anymore.
Oh yeah, we don't like.
But for
Asda.
obvious reasons, which we won't go into.
Yeah.
But yeah, as don't.
As Dan thinks so.
But isn't it all that? Yeah, isn't it crazy that like we choose to eat some animals, but then choose to not eat?
Well, this is the
others?
thing, isn't it? 12. How many chickens does
Yeah.
12 apes equal? Millions.
Let me just put that in the calculator. See what comes up.
How many chickens does 12 apes equal?
Out of 12 monkeys, on the scale of 12 monkeys, how many chickens are there?
So what's a
4.
number? Because this is an interesting question, right? Because like billions and
Right.
millions of cows get slaughtered a year, right?
Okay, yeah.
So how many do you eat? Do you feel guilty about?
Cows.
Yeah, like if someone said, "Oh, I killed 50 cows today."
There's a lot of cows.
Yeah,
in
but
it.
would you like that's what I'm
Not
saying.
as-
How many cows equals one ape?
Oh my god, that's the biggest question.
I think it's
One.
no.
No.
I think if
One.
someone's I'm trying to imagine if I met this scientist, right? And he
I
said,
reckon 5.
5.
Okay, no. How many cows? We need to go
I
by
was thinking like 100.
we need to go by population, don't we? Yeah. So how many cows are in the world compared to apes?
Well, no. I mean, it's more personal.
Oh, okay.
Because I think if a scientist, if I was having a pint and a scientist was there and he was the guy who said I killed 12 monkeys today, you all know my reaction. We've just seen it. But if he said to me, killed 12 cows today, I'd go, oh fucking hell, wow, yeah. How'd you do it? And I'd be more, because I eat him. I'd probably eat a burger at the
well,
time.
this is it because we've normalised some animals and
Yeah.
other animals aren't normal.
But if
to
he said
eat.
to me, oh god, yeah, I had to put down 140 cows today, I'd go 140
That's a lot,
on
innit?
your own. How'd you do it? Like, how do you do it?
God, you have a good rest tonight.
Yeah,
It's a
fucking
lot of
hell,
cows.
140 cows. So then 140 times 12, so it's 1,400. It's 1,680 cows for 12 monkeys. Still,
Yeah,
actually,
that's-
isn't that high?
1,000 how many?
680 cows.
That's a lot of cows, Alf, for 12 monkeys.
I think if someone said, "Would you rather have these 12 apes on the planet or 1,640 cows?" I'd pick the apes.
What if you... Okay, right. Would you rather, right,
Yeah.
kill... You've got 3 options.
Oh, and now I've got to do it.
No. You have to kill
Mm-hmm.
1,600 cows, 40
yeah.
cows. Or actually, let's forget the monkeys. Or be like, I don't know, live on the streets for a year.
What do I have to do on the streets?
You have to just live on the streets. You've got no money, no resources, nothing,
No job.
no job,
No you.
no me.
Do I get you at the end of the year?
Yeah, I'm back. Everything's back the way it is after a year. But you have to sacrifice. Sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely the cows. I
Okay.
imagine that many cows, more than that many cows, got killed today.
What about 12 monkeys?
Ah,
There we go. Got him.
I knew you were going to swing it back. Oh,
But isn't that funny that we put
yeah,
more
I
life
do.
on
I
it? We
do.
put
I
more
do.
life. You do what?
I'd live on the streets.
You live on the streets rather
Mm-hmm.
than kill the 12. Yeah. Do you think it's because? Is it because we feel like they're one of our own?
Well, they're very close, aren't they?
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
cows, you can separate yourself
Oh, I
from.
couldn't look him in the eye and do that.
Isn't it funny though what we deem is important life?
Yeah.
Like you should have said, "I'm going to live on the streets. I'm not going to kill an animal. I'm not going to kill that many cows."
Yeah, but like,
Think of
I
no,
hope.
that's also 1,640 mothers that have birthed them cows.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the butterfly effect. the butterfly effect of
Yeah.
killing. It isn't just, and you'd have to do them all by hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, but then I'd have to do 12 apes by hand, and I'd rather do the cows. Would you? If you had to do it yourself?
I
Would you
couldn't
do the
do-
cows or would you do the apes?
I'd want to live on the street for a year.
For the cows.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I guarantee that many the cows get killed in one day.
I know, but it's not about that. It's about whether you have to do it. I couldn't live. I
Yeah.
couldn't live with that.
But I think after
It would be one of the-
50,
I
you
mean-
get used to it.
Yeah, you've still got another. You've got so many to go after 50. You've got so many to go.
Would you rather do the cows or the apes then?
If I had to,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do the cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the apes such, but cows have beautiful eyes too. I was going to say
They-
the apes have such
yeah.
beautiful eyes.
Have you ever
but
seen that girl who does? Oh,
the
there's this
cow eyes?
amazing Instagram account of this girl who has these lovely farm animals and she baths them and like pampers them. The best TikTok videos ever. And she like polishes their nails and gives like, she'll get like coconut oil and put them into their eyebrows. And these little calves are so sweet.
Yeah, animals are great in general.
Animals are great.
And I hope by this conversation doesn't sound like we're a bunch of cow haters, but I'd be a hypocrite if I eat meat, so like I can't pretend that I really care about the cows.
But Alf, you're a product of your environment that you have that belief system. You
Yeah.
don't you don't think that killing cows is better than killing apes.
No, I don't.
You've been told
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
better to kill cows than it's to kill
Yeah.
apes.
Yeah, you're right. It's not my fault.
Yeah, so you'd live on the streets, yeah?
Not for the cows.
Oh, you really wouldn't.
Oh God.
Just after I've told you that essentially what we think about apes is how we should be thinking about cows too.
Well, okay. If I lived on the streets, I'd make a general huge lifestyle change at the end of it, and I wouldn't be a meat eater at the end, would I? I couldn't. Why would I live on the streets to not have
That would be a-
1,640 cows?
It would
to
be mad,
die?
wouldn't it?
And then I just go buy a fucking burger.
Yeah. It'd be mad, wouldn't it? Like you having your life right now, your job, me, this podcast, and then going from having a day where you've had to kill that many cows and then being homeless for a year. You'd be like, 2022 took a
Took a
strange
real,
turn.
one or the other. It's like slaughter thousands of cows or live on the street for a year.
Yeah.
Madness. Listeners, let us know what you'd rather do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you rescued some battery chickens, didn't you?
Yeah. So my parents would pick up, there was like a couple of battery farms that would decide to close or they go bankrupt.
Why wouldn't they
bankrupt.
just slaughter them? 'Cause
Well, they
couldn't
would.
deal with it.
That's
they
what
would.
they were doing. That they were
Right.
giving them all away to the KFC factory.
Oh, is that
or
what they're
whatever.
doing? Yeah.
But it was like, oh, by the way,
Other chicken brands are available.
yeah, yeah.
Not good ones though.
They were like, if anyone in the local area wants some beat up chickens, some raggedy ass little ladies, come pick them up. So they went.
Were they from an egg farm? Do we think?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, good question.
Well, they must have been, wouldn't they? If they were battery, because they wouldn't have sold them.
Oh yeah.
They must have
Yeah.
been, yeah.
So they then.
Good layers though.
Oh well, this is it. But chickens aren't meant to lay that often. I don't think in the wild. Not in the wild. I don't know. Have chickens ever been wild?
Well, this is what I asked you. Remember when
Probably
we were talking
not.
about the whole having a period like a chicken?
Yeah.
It was, would you have? Because they have one a day, don't they? You said.
Yeah.
One egg a day.
Yeah, one egg a day. Yeah, they do lay one egg a day, but I think they
But the
get
battery
into
ones
that.
probably get more, don't they?
Yeah, I think in nature, what happens with our chickens is that when it gets colder,
They stop.
they
slow
slow down and then they pick up a little bit. It's normally like maybe 1 or 2 a week per chicken, actually.
Yeah.
I think.
What were the battery ones like?
Well, they came and it was really sad because they had like all their feathers had been plucked and obviously they're cooped up in these tiny little cages. And I
Why
don't
were their
see-
feathers plucked?
I think it's more about not being able to move and they rub up against the.
Probably hygiene, maybe. As well.
Yeah,
Keep
definitely.
them sterile without the fur and stuff.
Well, no, I think it just rubs off.
Oh, really?
It might be also other hens pecking them.
Mm.
I think they're probably out of boredom. You know, if you've got all these chickens in these cages next to each other,
Have
they
a
just have a peck.
Just kill half an hour, have a peck.
Yeah, just pluck out a couple of feathers,
Yeah.
and they would all have bare bums and bare heads, back of
They'd
the
have
necks.
bare bums.
Yeah, bare bums.
The bum of a bear.
Chicken. You won't believe it, Al.
No wonder they were
these-
rubbing up against each other.
These battery farms are crazy. Chicken head or a bare bum.
Bloody hell.
And they and they were like had the the crop, which is like the little floppy thing.
floppy thing.
That's usually supposed to be like bright red, and the bit underneath, and they were all pale as anything.
Really like creamy
white.
pink or white, really?
Just like
bleached.
death.
Oh god.
Like, just because they haven't seen sunlight and
Yeah.
they're not
Oh,
eating,
yeah, of course.
natural food and stuff. So they arrived all pretty, fucked up.
Yeah.
And then you give it a couple of months out in the field, bit of sunlight,
Yeah.
happy as Larry. They're
Were they
dead. They're dead
good?
good.
They-
Yeah, they're
they
brilliant. They
Plumed back.
yeah, really quickly.
That's interesting.
So it's a really good thing to do.
They live a long life.
Yeah,
That's good.
chickens have a really good deal, I think, that are looked after from people because they always have quite peaceful deaths. Like animals in the wild don't
Unless
die.
they get mauled by a fox.
Well, this is the thing. Animals in the wild don't die peacefully, do they?
No, very rarely.
No, of course they
actually,
don't.
yeah.
Like us dying in our sleep, at night time is
Yeah.
so that doesn't happen in the wild, does it? You get eaten,
Yeah.
or you're injured, and then whatever. But
Yeah.
chickens just, and you can tell when a chicken's at the end of its days because all its feathers they puff them out.
Is that right?
Yeah, they go poof, and all the feathers kind of stand on end, and then they just go. You can just tell. And then my stepdad Rog would just be like, "I think that one's on its way out,"
Oh, yeah.
and then you just kind of feed it. And
They
let
have a
it-
Sunday roast the next day.
No, we never ate them. You don't eat a dead.
No, you don't, do you? No, you
don't
don't.
know.
You gotta you don't.
It might have been ill. You don't know, but they always just seem to just go to sleep, and then that was it, and then dead
Just
chicken.
find them the next day.
And then you can give them to the fox.
Is that what you did?
Well, I think so. Yeah, I think we'd obviously take it quite far out.
Yeah, not on your doorstep.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you're not gonna bury them, are they?
I'd love to have chickens, Alf.
Oh,
I
me
can't-
too.
I
Should
love
have
li-
some in the studio.
I love I love living in the city, but my dream is to just have a
I
big
want
enough
chickens,
garden,
yeah,
big enough
definitely.
bit of land that I can have some chickens and some ducks.
Chicken, little ape in the corner.
Yeah. No, they should be roaming free in the trees.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything from that film, it's don't
It's-
mess.
Don't give an ape a home.
No. Don't give an ape a home,
No.
kids.
Yeah. Apes aren't just for Christmas. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss on this magnificent episode, this monumental milestone of a episode?
Oh,
episode
but
10?
No, just that I'm eating better, I'm exercising, feeling much better than I have done.
Great.
In myself, I'm sure everyone will be glad to hear it.
Of course.
But I'm starving hungry and I'm fasting at the minute, so you better get a crack on in the kitchen.
Oh, is that how it works, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. I could be your _grandma on Instagram. I could be your grandma on Facebook. Rate and review on Spotify and iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Support the Patreon if you want. Buy yourself a bloody I Could Be Your Grandma shirt and a mug and a hat. Get yourself an I Could Be Your Grandma NFT. Enter the competition to win episode 10. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Love you very much.
Love you.
Ciao, ciao.
Check.